On Sports Today, the coaches back-to-back for Parkland Mazda and the all-new Mazda 6.
On 882 6PR.
The last act of this game. Derby 37. It's a Dockers victory. Final score 16-12, 108. West Coast 11-14, 80.
Yeah, we're joined by the victorious coach in Ross Lyon. G'day, Ross.
G'day, Brad.
Terrific challenge to have the Eagles in round one and a good result. A little untidy in the first half, though, I thought.
Yeah, we were. I thought the Eagles were terrific early, and we struggled to find them a little bit, but it was just some slow play entry that we defended poorly, and some turnovers were really costly. But once we sorted that out, I thought we started winning the ball well and moved the ball well and gave ourselves every opportunity.
Brilliant in the second half. Mundy, Barlow, 19 tackles between them. Outstanding. Fife, Subin did his job in the middle of the ground. You must have been really impressed with the way that your midfield operated.
Oh, look, I thought they were a bit rusty early. Centre bounce was fantastic. I thought probably, midfield clearance has got a bit of work to do still, but overall they did their job as a collective. They won the ball well and gave our forwards plenty of opportunity. And in the end, the weight of numbers, entries and re-entries sort of took its toll on the West Coast defenders. So, yeah, no, they stood up. But, under no illusions, Eagles weren't quite at their best personnel-wise, but they were still quite strong. So, look, there's a lot to like and plenty to improve upon.
You'd have to be delighted with Hill and Pearce. Both won hard balls. Both sent the ball inside 50. Both kicked goals and both ran and carried and really gave you some speed on the outside.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the outside stuff, but Daniel Pearce, I thought his tackling, when he was struggling to get into it early, got him into the game. He ran down a couple from behind in the forward 50, and I think he had 13 ground balls, so he's certainly gone and won his own ball. And they certainly complemented each other with pace and spread as well.
Well, Pearce had 5 effective tackles and Hilly had 4, so they did their fair share in that area as well. The other really impressive part about the weekend, Ross, was to win the game, as you did, in comprehensive fashion, without Matthew Pavlich actually kicking a goal.
Yeah, well, that's been made of that. I thought he had plenty of opportunities. I think he...
3 shots.
Yeah, and I think one went out in the full, didn't it? And probably could have drawn a couple of frees. So, look, I've won one game preparation. I thought he was quite outstanding, and I'm really pleased with it. He set a few others up, and we know he's only going to continue to improve from there. So I thought the way he led his attack on the ball, which is well documented, Carl.
Well, when you see it and when it's right in front of us, where were you sitting? You were next to me, weren't you?
I couldn't hear you next to me.
What did you think?
It was right in front of me.
What did you think when you first saw it?
It all happened so quickly. Yeah. What I do know is, I always thought to my players, if you intense the ball, whether it's an aerial contest or a ground contest, and you keep your eye on the ball, you're basically going to be okay because everything flows from there. But if you take your eye off the ball, air or ground, and you can enter someone, well, then you're in trouble. But when you're a ball player like Matthew, 99 times out of 100, you're going to be fine, and that's why we're confident. And Schofield, to his credit, bounced straight back up, tapped him on the bum and said, let's get going again. So I thought it was well umpired and a good decision.
John O'Griffin, you've been pleased with him. Lionhearted performance against Big Dean Cox. I thought they really had a great battle, but that's exactly what you'd expect from him. Look,
he's got an enormous tank like Dean has as well. Like he's basically a 10-10, 3K runner, so he's enormous, and that was conditioned into him in Adelaide under Neil Craig, and we're getting the benefit of that, and he's worked really hard over summer. And look, he held his end up like he did on the weekend last year, so it was no surprise to us, but the challenge is, like for the whole team, to keep it going. We've got to set ourselves for the Bulldogs.
Has Ryan Crowley developed into the best go-with player in the league?
Oh, look, that's a matter of opinion. I know he's the best one at Fremantle. So.
I think he's right there. I think he's in the top 2 or 3. If you break it down, I mean, his performances over the last 12, 18 months, 2 years have been nothing short of phenomenal.
Well, he's got great concentration. Look, we've been working on his clearance work, the ability. That's where Brett Kirk in conjunction with Mark Stone, working on body work, get inside, and we think he's got plenty of improvement to get his hands on the ball around the stoppage because the good players will take him there. And so get inside and win it a bit more. We know he can push forward and take a mark like he did. Would like him to split more on the rebound and because he's enormous, make them chase a bit more on transition to the open side. So he's still got plenty of things to improve upon, but he's certainly a top-level go-with player.
Now, did Hayden come and see you today?
He did.
Did he come and see the master, and what did he say?
No, well, we're a flat structure at Fremantle, so we're all equal. Some more equal than others, but we're all equal.
Yeah.
He just bobbed in. Look, he just loves playing footy. He's had an enormous summer. It's really different from last year. This was just a block gone wrong, trying to free up Selwood, who was tagging Fife quite tightly. So it was just a block gone wrong, and his intention was pretty healthy. His method just crossed that line a little bit. And look, I think what made it, and we know Selwood's tough, so obviously he overstepped the line a bit. He's paid the price for that, and last year he found a great balance after the early stages. He's a leader. We love the way he competes, and I'm sure he'll play great footy when he gets back.
So he won't be challenging it then, by the sounds of it. You've conceded that he's going to sit out a week?
Yeah, I think it's highly unlikely. Look, but in saying that, we go through a process, consult the QC, look at the gradings, and see where it all fits, and if there's any opportunities there. But I think either way it goes, he's probably a week. So.
Can I have the QC's fees?
I don't miss you, but he's very good, our man.
I've got to say, it's a pretty easy decision. Now, Ross, what about the news would have filtered through about Aaron Sandilands? What's the philosophy of the club with him?
Yeah, he saw Julian Fella this evening. I think it was whatever time over there. But like you guys just recently got the information. I think it's on the minor end of what we're thinking. It's a slight split in the tendon. The club will release a statement, but we think it's more likely 8 weeks, unless they got in there or something different to what they were thinking, but that's highly unlikely. So it's really at the minor end, and it'll be an 8-week return.
So it's not like it's not a Matthew Lloyd went off the bone. Is it more like?
No, that's an avulsion off the bone. Nick Rewalt's tendon torn in half.
Yep.
This is just a slight split of the tendon. So hence in rehab he was going really well, but when we ramped it right up, we're just grabbing him. So therefore, warrants investigation. The investigation has just highlighted a slight split, which is, there's been a lot of doomsayers out there about it's the end of his career and his longevity. This is quite minor, and he'll be able to condition really well and play a huge part for us. So Ross, we're excited.
Is that like Josh Gibson from Hawthorn? Because he had something similar.
No. He was Nick Rewalt, mate, torn in half.
Yeah, because he came back pretty quick. He got pretty quick, Josh Gibson.
Oh, it was 12, 14 weeks. So it's significantly different. We're talking one end of one Gibson and Rewalt torn in half, straight through the whole tendon. This is a longitudinal split, so just like a split nail, mate. And they just got to repair it.
What about Pav? Can he put his hand out for his pay, or?
Well, it just goes EFT, mate, automatic.
Hey, and last one for me. How are you glad or not that you've actually got a week's break, not playing this week?
Oh, look, I think you can sit there and weep yourself. I like to keep going.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, it would be handy to repair, replenish and assess and improve. And we get an opportunity to watch the Bulldogs closely and prepare. And we'll go over fresh, and I'm looking forward to a challenge. It's always difficult to win in Melbourne. We get that. But good teams win in a state, and we want to be a good team, so it's a simple equation.
Just a quick one, Rossi. Obviously, would have seen across the weekend. Adelaide didn't get their head around the sliding rule. I think, my opinion anyway, is that Mark Lacroix second-guessed himself with that the attack on the ball with Mzungu, and Mzungu did exactly what he was supposed to do. How did you think the rule changes went on the weekend?
Well, I was asked earlier on 3W, your sister station, I think. So I really like the rule. Run to the ball, keep your feet, and when you're running, as long as you're not trying to charge someone, you can slow down, get your head and backside, bend your knees, get really low, and I think they're just going to be really honest content. I think the cannonball sliding, it's crept into the game over the last 5 years. I think it's been really dangerous. I think we've lost lots of good players with knees and broken legs, and it's got rid of congestion, keeps the ball moving. I think it helps the rules committee get their objective. I think it's one of the better introductions, and players will adapt. And Rodney is really smart, and he was right. As long as when you're around a stoppage and you can go to ground and pick it up, so as long as we're terming sliding, so when you slide and cannonball in, it's like 10-point bowling, isn't it? I mean, 90 kilos running really quickly, just rolling over the ball and taking someone's legs out isn't pretty, and I don't think it's courageous. But the guys like Pendlebury and Mundy that run to the ball 5, put their head over it, I think it's a really good rule.
So does anybody go back to the waffle this week, or are you just pretty happy with your lot?
No, we'll look at it. I think anyone that played, potentially Cam Sutcliffe, could do with the run. I think outside of that, as it sits, it would be highly unlikely. So, but we get an opportunity for everyone to put their hand up for selection. Clearly, there's a spot. We've got to see how Zach Clark comes up. Do we go with the tall? Do we put another goal sneak in like a Mellington or Crozier, those types, or a Duffy? There's a bit of work to go yet. But we'll do our review tomorrow and then move on to the Bulldogs pretty quickly.
Good on you, Ross. Thanks for your time. Talk to you next Monday.
Well played.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks. Cheers, Carl.
Ross Lyon from the Fremantle Dockers. Straight after this, Justin.